Recording yapacaksınız değil mi?
Recording is on. Yeah. Hello everyone, the Speakers Corner that gives a stand to Ibn Khaldun University's graduate students to talk about their interests, thesis, volunteering activities and experiences continues with Rajeev Kumar. Rajeev will introduce himself in details, but I'll talk about it very briefly. Rajeev is a graduate student in Alliance of Civilizations Institute, and he is also founder, managing director of Umran Green Perspective Foundation. He today will talk about Umran from Indic to Islamicate. You can ask your questions to Rajeev after the presentation. Your microphones will be on. Also, those who wish can also write in the chat section. Yes, Rajeev, here you are.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Cecil, for inviting me for this program and organizing this event. So hello everyone, namaste, salam alaikum and merhaba. My name is Rajeev Kumar, and as Cecil already briefed about me, I'm from India, and I'm a student at Ibn Khaldun University. So I'm going to talk about, we have a topic here, so let me share with you the screen. So here, I'm going to communicate with you today about Umran from Indic to Islamicate. I have a lot of things to talk about, even about the poster. I mean, Cecil shared with me this poster, you know. So here we have three words, Umran and Indic and Islamicate. So here we have three key terms actually here we have to talk about. So Umran, those who don't know about Ibn Khaldun, so let me brief you that what Umran is actually here stand for. So Umran is here, the word Umran has been conceived by Ibn Khaldun as a society, as a sabia or culture, you know, in a broader context. So Umran also means civilization, society. It's Arabic word. And also Umran stand for the ilm. So he conceived Umran in a broader, in the study of civilization or culture or sociology, like Umran Hadari and Umran Bedawi. We have here a very broad, you know, idea here to talk about Umran in itself. And then we have here Indic. Indic is the culture of the Indian subcontinent. So I'm going to talk about you know, a little bit geography also. So here we have Indic. So I myself come from the Indic complex society of India, where before Islam we have Jainism, you know, the Sikhism, even in a Vedic culture, Vedic tradition we have there developed. Very complex society we have in Indian subcontinent. So I come from that culture. And then our identity has an Indic, has an identity I come from. And then we have Islamicate. So Islamicate and both Indic and Islamicate has been used by Marcel Hudson, you know, very frequently in his 3 volumes of a book called Venture of Islam. So Islamicate is for Hudson is the age or the time period when the great knowledge of axial age is disseminated, diffused, and developed. So Hudson talks about what I understand from Hudson, from his book. Hudson talks about Islamicate in terms of the development, achievement of humanity, in terms of the development of morality, ethics, art, and architect, you know, and where the Islam becomes the very significant phenomena. Islam becomes very significant, dominant in that terms. And Islamicate is beyond religion. So Islam is a higher level of, you know, the achievement of humanity. That's how Islamicate has been projected by Hudson. So here we have a very complex understanding of Umran, Islamicate, and Indic. But I'm going to talk briefly about that. So here from Umran, from Indic to Islamicate, I'm going to talk in a in a in a in a in a three aspect. But before I talk about this, let me brief you. Let me tell you that is the poster in itself is a very interesting. Sechil sent me three posters to select one of them, and I said this poster really attracted me, fascinated me. So here we have the poster, as you see, like it looks like a from and to. So you see, this is the Mughal art. We have Mughal architect. We have so, and then you see the Taj Mahal, and the Taj Mahal is the symbol of love. So I just remember when Cecil sent me this poster, I said I really congratulate to her team, entire team, that the way they have designed. I mean, consciously or unconsciously, it was designed. So here you have a civilization. In the Akbar's court, there was a great historian of Akbar. Those who doesn't know about Akbar, Akbar was the Mughal emperor of the 16th century. So the Abu Fazl, he was his historian. He was writing history, and he was also advisor of Akbar. And they both were inspired from the Sufi or the Bhakti tradition. So he writes Akbarnama. In that Akbarnama, it had been mentioned the Sulah Kul, the universal peace, and the Muhabbat Kul, universal love. So they drafted both Akbar and Abu Faz Sulah Kul in the time of Akbar or in the Mughal Empire. So and they were moving towards to develop the higher level of humanity, that is the universal love, Muhabbat Kul. So this gave me a very a very deep impression to me, this poster in itself. So here you have from the civilization, universal peace, and from to love, to higher level of the morality or ethics of humanity. So I'm going to talk about I'm going to communicate with you about Umran from Umran from Indic to Islamicate in three contexts, in three aspects. One is I have a newly founded organization called Umran Green Perspective Foundation that I'm going to talk extensively about my organization, and also in context of Ibn Khaldun. But before Ibn Khaldun, University. But before Ibn Khaldun University, we have Ibn Khaldun, a man. So here we have also the idea of Ibn Khaldun, Umran. So I'm going to talk about in both Ibn Khaldun University and Ibn Khaldun. Then in the third context, I'm going to talk about my experience with Umran from India to Istanbul. Like I come from India, so I'm going to talk about my experience, my journey from India to Istanbul. So I'm going to combine, bring all these things under Umran. So this is my great experience with Umran that I'm going to talk about in these three contexts. So let me start with my journey that I come from Bihar. I come from a village, small village of Bihar called Akonha. As you see here, the map, in the map you see here, Bihar is located above the Bengal or the Bangladesh, near to the Bangladesh. And in India, if we talk about its geography, it is in the northeastern part of India, near to Nepal. And then you have Bihar. It is a very historical place. The great king emperor Ashoka from Bihar, and the Buddha. We cannot forget about Buddha. Buddha was born in Bihar, and Buddhism, which has spread from from Afghanistan to Indonesian Peninsula, on the largest part of the hemisphere of globe. So Bihar once upon used to be a cosmopolitan place also, and cultural center of the world, because the greatest university, the first international university was established in Nalanda in Bihar. So and then we had also the Patliputra, the capital city of Ashoka Empire in Bihar. So I come from there, this place, but we will see that today the Bihar is considered one of the backward state in India. So there is a great downfall, degradation of culture, art, and architect, and even aesthetic and other that we are going to talk about other also today. So there is a great fall of the whole set of culture. Uh, so I moved to Delhi, and I'm sure many of you know already the Delhi, the Agra. Many people know through the Agra Taj Mahal. So they know like this Delhi. Delhi is the capital city of India, in the center, in the heart of India. Here we have. So I moved Delhi for my higher studies. I get education at India's one of the best university. We have Jawaharlal Nehru University. So from there, I studied German language and literature, and I acquired knowledge. I'm very thankful to some of the professors that I would like to mention that I really learned from them. A lot of things is Professor Dengle, Professor Babu Thalia, Professor Sadna Nethani, Professor Rekha Rajan. So I really learned so many things from these professors, and the university is in itself a very vibrant university. Its environment is vibrant, very vibrant, like Ibn Haldun we have here. So I got a scholarship when I was in undergrad to visit Germany, and also I got a chance to visit Turkey, Istanbul. So this is not my first time I visited Istanbul for my education, but I have been 2 times earlier in Istanbul. So after coming back from Istanbul, after finishing my education, master's studies from Jawaharlal Nehru University, I started working with some BPOs companies. So first I started with Dutch Airlines as a social media representative, but I worked there for a short time. But I moved to southern part of India. So here, as you see, Sri Lanka, I mean, near to the Indian, at the bottom of the Indian subcontinent, you see the Sri Lanka there, the bottom, and then you have Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal here. So I moved to the southern part of India, Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is also a very significant center of culture. Tamil literature, Tamil Sangam develops in the 5th century, is really appreciable. And so I moved from north to south, which is completely different culture. I still I can't understand the language. It's completely different language, Dravidian language they have. But I really love there. The Pondicherry is a union territory today of India, and it was a French colony. So still you will find the French people there, and also even there some of the tradition you will find like police are like dressing like a French people. So some of the tradition you will find there, churches you will find, okay, architects you will find very similar. So I worked there in the Pondicherry. I worked for the job purpose. So in Pondicherry I worked with a company as a project manager, and in a publication book publication company. So I worked with Springer and Westermann, Dig Writer. I was working on various projects at the same time. So it was my destiny. From there, I moved to Istanbul, with bag and baggage. So it was my destiny. I come to Istanbul, and it has a long story behind that. At the end, you will learn that story. So I come to Istanbul. I got a scholarship at Ibn Haldun University, and Ibn Haldun University I really found it interesting. The environment, the very diverse environment, cosmopolitan milieu, professors from different background. They have studied from America or from Germany or from other, and students are also from various countries. That was like I talked to my friend. Once I was learning about the Harvard University deeply. Then I say, wow, this university looks it's going to be future. center of ilm, because and I said to my friend, look, the Ibn Khaldun University looks like a very visionary project. So professors are really nice, and very they are like alim. They are, I consider Professor Rajab Sentur. I was observing him, in very detail. Everything I was observing in very detail. And Professor Alpersona Chigens, we have Professor Bekta, Professor Hebarov, and Professor Bruce Lawrence. So these all professors are Professor Erjuman Tassel. I mean, I tell you the story about like the professors, why I like this university the most. And I talk about this university every time, that I really learned so many things in terms of culture, adab, morality, ethics, many things I learned, education, theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge I had. So I share with you the one story. My supervisor today, now he's my supervisor, Professor Erjuman Asl. So once I had a crisis, like in the second year, so of here at my studies. So I moved. I went to Trabzon, like to get refreshed. So I wrote a message to my supervisor, my teacher, that I'm not feeling good. So I'm sorry, I won't be able to join your class today, tomorrow. So he wrote me, he answered me kindly that Rajiv, if you are not physically, if there is no physical problem, then you come, maybe we can talk and you will feel better. So he was so kind. And the next day, I mean, the same day I booked the flight. For the next day, I took my flight and then come for the class. And he talked to me. So, I mean, they are professor, I would say. I mean, they are really, we have a great professors here who cares their students in every situation. So this was my experience with professors. So how I founded Umran organization is a very interesting story. In the Tomer, we have a Tomer. Everyone has to learn at least those who are foreign students coming not from Turkey. Those who don't speak Turkey, they have to learn Turkish language. And learning language is really very good. It makes you another person. It brings you another perspective, another window in you. So in Tomer class, our Turkish language class, our group was divided into two, and we were assigned with to make a presentation in Turkish language. As you see on the screen, everything is written in Turkish. So I thought of Umran to make a presentation, and we make a party. Actually, this was the party. So Umran was the party, our party, and I gave this slogan and everything design, and also you see the greenery there. So it's a green perspective. So Umran Green Perspective comes from there. So very eco-critical understanding that I had also. So I implemented that as well. So this, I was not aware that I'm gonna keep this name, but that time it fascinated me really a lot, that the word Umran has a deep meaning. And also it sounded like me like umbrella, or like in Arabic word there is called ummi is mother, or is Rahman. So it was giving me a lot of meanings to me. Umran is also means society, a building society. So there is another background that I come to Umran. So Umran is not just like like let's organize, and that I'm going to share with you the videos also. But Umran, the organization that I founded is not like this, like okay, let's get together and make a organization work for people, but it has a really deep meaning. It's not just a charity work, but with the understanding of civilization. So the background of this is that in my master's studies, I had my research work, research studies of Bauhaus as a cultural metaphor in the 20th century. So, I mean, most of you who are from Turkey must be knowing Bauhaus, must have heard Bauhaus, like IKEA and Bauhaus. So the Bauhaus actually is in a school in Germany, which was founded by Walter Gropius in 1919. after the First World War. So he develops as a culture, set of culture. He reflected on the industrial product, because industrial revolution was going on that time, and he reimagined, how to improve the life of humanity, people. So he thought of humanity, and he reflected on industrial product. That's how he found the school. And if you learn about the Bauhaus, it's a really very philosophical, cultural idea. And recently, Germany is going to rework on the Bauhaus school. They want to revive this Bauhaus culture again. So I was thinking, like, when I was at university in India, thinking to make a school in my hometown, because there was a fall of culture in my hometown, in my village. I wanted to do something for my village and villagers. I wanted to give back. So every time I was feeling responsible, the more I was studying, the more I was feeling responsible towards my society, towards my people. So but I was not encouraged. I had no enough courage to do this. But when I come to Istanbul at Ibn Khaldun University, it enriched me with ideas, knowledge, and I mean the Sekase. I really appreciate this Sekase, who has organized this talk, where I'm able to communicate with you, and you are here to exchange. We are here to exchange the knowledge. So every time, like whenever I was like think of Ibn Khaldun, it gives me a nostalgia of Baitul Hikmah, or the great school of like Cairo, or Baitul Hikmah of Baghdad. So it gives me, every time it gives me the, if I think always, like, if the great school will be like how an ideal school will be, or university will be. So I think like Ibn Khaldun, because it was visualized to me. Ibn Khaldun was visualized to me like that. Every time, like whenever Professor Rajeev giving lecture, I think of Ghazali. I mean, we cannot forget Ghazali, the key of Islamic, discipline or knowledge. So, and Ibn Arabi, these people comes every time in my mind. So we have a great scholar here, and Professor Bruce Lawrence. I mean, now whenever I think of Professor Bruce Lawrence, I think of, like, he's a Aulia. It's Aulia means peer, or the master. Master. Aulia is like beyond sent. Sent. So I explored many people, many scholars in a different way. I had a different way of experience, different experience here altogether. I explored so many things in Istanbul at Ibn Khaldun University. So I became the murid of, I call myself murid of Professor Lawrence, a disciple of Professor Lawrence. I explored his scholarship. So I learned so many things, and this really enriched me, helped me, to do this Umran, to establish a library. So that's how I established a library in my. So I organized my ideas. I developed. I wrote down on papers, and then as you see here in the pictures in the slide, I designed this library. This is how the library is look like in India that we built, but we need to work more. This library is divided into 4 sections. One is that we have a study center, and then we have art gallery, and then we have a music also, because music is also very important. So we cannot, we have to develop everything in every discipline. So music instruments we have there, and then we have a cafe also. Okay, so for communication, center of communication. So these all ideas I learned at Ibn Khaldun University that enriched me. And I talked to my father. My father is my father, and he's a retired government teacher, and also state awarded teacher. He's a storyteller, and a very nice storyteller, and he's a veterinarian also. So he has a great network, and also a dramatist, and now he helped me a lot. So I'm really thankful to my father. not because he's my father, but also being a person, a very nice person, a kind person, humble person. So he's helping there, teaching students, and also we have more teachers there to teach students. So today we have more than 300 students coming in 2 shifts and learning. So we there we have recently bought a projector. So that's how we started. I talked to my father and then said, okay, I can at least I can establish a school which will really benefit to enhance their knowledge, morality, to have a sense of morality, to have a sense of civility, the Umran Badawi to Umran Hadari. so so I talked to my father. I explained my project. So he agreed on this. He gave me consent and helped me on this. So that's how I developed the library. So today we have in the library we are teaching through the internet also, because the corona crisis happened, and this helped me. Actually, corona crisis pandemic helped me a lot, because everything shifted to online. But earlier it could have been a very difficult for me to do all these things, because people will say, oh, if you don't come here, it won't get succeed. You have to come here, then only it's gonna work. But since it was everything was online, people psychologically became, okay, we can do everything virtually, there is no choice. So I was monitoring, I was controlling everything from Istanbul, and giving ideas, designing things, communicating online with people. So finally we inaugurated library there, and we are giving them online classes to students. Also offline classes we are giving them. So now we have projects of Umran. We are working on multiple projects nowadays. We founded this organization in 2020 in July. We started from the April, May, and now we are in almost in June. We are going to finish. So it has been more than a year that we are working on Umran, but we did a lot of things. We initiated many projects. So one of the projects we started same time is the language project. So we are teaching 15 languages, 15 international languages, where we have teachers from all over the world. International teachers we have, and we have international students we have. So it's very vibrant, and so 40 international teachers we have, and almost every batch we have 200, around 200 students. This is a school of language. We have 2 days classes, and then we have designed with the culture program, like we have right now here, like a Sekase is organizing culture program, culture meet. So we are doing culture meet every Tuesday, and every student must join this program. So it's a part of course. So so and in this program we invite, as you see here, we invite sometimes professors. We encourage students also to make a presentation, and our teachers help them to in this regard, preparing their presentation. So Professor Lawrence also came to talk about in the culture program, and one professor from Latin America, scholars like PhD students, they also make presentations. Students also make presentation. They are making presentations and learning a lot of things. Then we have internship program we open. They learn a lot of things when they join an organization. They communicate. They learn how we organize a talk, how we manage things. They learn a lot of things. So we give them an internship program also, and at the end we give them certificate also. So we have in a team today. We have from various parts of country, like we have from Pakistan and from Turkey. From India, we have in our team today working with us, and then in May, I think last February or March, I think we also organized international symposium collaboration with 3 universities from 3 continents. So in the Haldun we had, and then we had also from Latin America, there was one university, and from India we had university and collaborated, and we successfully we concluded the symposium. It was very successful symposium. And at the result of the symposium, we established another project, that Umran Academic Research Association, which I talked with the Professor Lawrence, Professor Hebarov, and we cannot forget about Professor Vahdithin Ishik. He was very, I mean, my department, my director of my department. I'm very thankful to him, and they all have been a very helpful in this whole process of Umran. So we have Professor Vahdithin Ishik. I mean, he's also my guardian. I make a personal relation with everyone. So they are my guardian, and also they are mentor. So they are big supporter for Umran, Professor Vahdithin Ishik, Professor Erjuman Rasil, and Professor Hebarov, Professor Bruce Lawrence, and Professor Mosmiji Banerjee from India. They are great supporter of Umran. This Umran Academic Research Association, we are going to give a scholarship to research students who are going to work with Professor Bruce Lawrence and other professor as well, and they will be given a scholarship. They are going to work on the scholarship for Professor Bruce Lawrence. So that's how we have. So Professor Lawrence was very happy with this when I proposed of 20 pages of draft of this research project. He said, you have visualized my entire life works in this project. So he was so happy. He said every time he says Umran, he perceives Umran like the as a barzakh. He said he uses the term barzakh, is a Quranic word. Many of you know that barzakh is a Quranic word, but he perceives differently. I conceive differently, not as a barrier or divider, but rather he conceives as a bridge. So he conceives Umran as a bridge of or the space between two spaces, which is not getting diluted by one another, but it connects them. It connects two spaces, or connects, perhaps I call, like, it connects in the Islamic and and Indic. So so it connects, it binds them. So he perceives like this, and he was very happy about this project. So our vision of Umran is we are working towards establishing a school. So Umran is also a baby, a child of Ibn Khaldun University. So today we have a child of Ibn Khaldun University. We are working, as a foundation in India and all over the world. Actually, we are working globally. So we are trying to establish a physical Umran Green School in Bihar, in my hometown, residential international school, a sustainable school we are trying to build. So the certificate that we provide to students, this was from the symposium, the certificate we provided to students, and then for the teachers and also for the students, we provide them certificate like this. Now I would like to play the video of the Umran. Let's watch the video of Umran, how the students think about Umran.
I have been following the Umran program for a while. Honestly, I have to say that it's a very successful and beneficial project.
We have learned a lot of things from this Umran organization, even in this pandemic of COVID-19, and they made this hard time into a very fruitful time.
And I'm very thankful to our respected teacher for giving us this friendly environment here and make us feel like a family. And to Rajeev sir and Umran
for making courses free for everyone.
Umran is like our family for providers, give us a chance learning from group.
Umran is perspective, an idea, and a platform with loads of opportunities. And thank you, Mr. Rajeev sir, for providing us such a beautiful platform.
Umran means prosperity, but it has deep meaning for Mr. Rajeev Kumar.
Umran is a feeling.
Umran is really advanced and really helpful in learning different cultures, as they have people from all around the world. It's always exciting here.
I think I learned a lot. I learned more than I could teach, because like the platform that you give, it was transnational.
An opportunity.
I learned more than the students.
Students are really curious and enjoyable also.
I have the most experienced students with me. I mean, one of them is the assistant professor.
I thank Rajeev for giving me a platform where I'm able to connect with remote areas of our country and be useful.
Umran es conexión. Yo soy Umran.
In the tale of early nights, people travel countries with their flying carpets. And just like these tales, I travel every day to India, to America, Colombia, Iran, Sri Lanka, Palestine, and so many other countries. The only difference is my flying carpet is Umran, and Umran has become just like my family in a really short time. So, as everyone else, I am Umran.
Umran is a peaceful initiative against globalization, conflicts, injustice, and the
Umran Green.
I am happy to become a member of Umran Family. I am Umran.
I am Umran.
Umran.
So Umran.
Something like this.
Umran is actually in everyone, but very few have realized it. And at this platform, we are bringing it into realization and visualization.
I am Umran.
So I'm sorry. So I'm gonna show you the video of our library, that how our library is working.
एक ऐसी संकल्पना है जिसका अर्थ है समृद्धि। इसके जनक श्री राजीव कुमार जी हैं। बिहार के मधुबनी में रहने वाले राजीव कुमार जी ने अपने गांव की स्थिति को अनुचित पाया।
देखो इन्हें ये ओस की बूंदें पत्तों की गोद में आसमां से कूदे अंगड़ाई ले फिर करवट बदल कर नाजुक से मोती हंस दे फिसल कर खो न जाएंगे तारे ज़मीं पर ये तो है सर्दी धूप की किरणें उतरे जो आंगन को सुनहरा सा
ज्ञान प्राप्त करना है
रंगत बदल दे खो न जाएंगे तारे ज़मीं पर जैसे आँखों की डिबिया में निंदिया और निंदिया में मीठा सा सपना और सपने में मिल जाए फरिश्ता सा कोई.
Now I would like to play one last video. It's a short video of Professor Banerjee.
Umran, as we have seen, does signify prosperity, peace, and compassion. And the promise with which its green perspective has taken shape is extremely awe-inspiring. The zeal and potential with which the organization has initiated its operations, that is, the multiple academic projects and ventures that it has come to envisage, would benefit people across borders and nations.
Thank you. So I go back to, I would like to again visit back to the poster that I'm going to talk. I would like to talk about this poster, and thanks to Sechil and her entire team actually to design this poster. It says so many things to me. It appeals to me. There is a aesthetic, there is a art in this in picture. So as I told you, like, you know, it gives me a certain sort of impression. This gives me certain sort of a sense, you know, it appeals me, it communicates with me. So Umran from Indic to Islamicate is a very symbolic, very metaphoric. So it is also Rahman and Rahim. Rahman, from Rahman to Rahim. It is also from the Umran Bedawi to Umran Hadari, or also from being to becoming. So or also also the Sulakul to Muhabtekul. Okay, so Umran encompasses so many things. It is always a strive to become the good one, or to achieve the ihsan. In Sufism we call ihsan, to become ihsan, to achieve this ihsan. So here for Hudson, is Umran, or the higher level of morality is Islamicate that the humanity had achieved in the certain period of time, through the diffusion of the knowledge of the great Excel age, uh, uh, destroying the caste system of India, perhaps, and making the vernacularization of the knowledge. You know, so Islam becomes very successful doing that, or Muslim becomes very successful because of the dynamic nature of the Islam. It becomes very successful vernacularizing the knowledge that was produced in the great Excel age. So Excel age which is the before the 200 BC, from 800 Hudson has projected, and after that he says post Excel age, and also he calls the middle period. So it's so Islam becomes very successful doing so. So for Hudson, it is Islamicate, and Professor Bruce Lawrence, it is Barzakh. Umran is Barzakh for Lawrence, and he says, you know, that it binds, unites the all civilization, or he also talks about the network. He talks about the network, you know, it's a node. He talks about in context of node of every culture, center, and Salvatore, he thinks about the in terms of civility, or the development, urban sense of urbanization, or sense of civility. But for me, Umran encompasses everything, and it is for me, Umran is the strive for ishq. Umran is ishq, or in Turkish language you say, you know, Umran is Turkish language you say ashq, or love. There is a one movie, a Turkish movie, maybe some of you know this. There is a Turkan Soray movie in the 1978 was or 80s. It was filmed. Selvi Boylum Al Yazılım. I watched this movie long back before coming to Istanbul. So the girl with the red scarf, the English name of the movie, that says ishq is aşk emektir. So Umran is the effort. There is a one poem that Professor Lawrence always says whenever he he communicates with the Indian people, or is because he can only recite the poem of Iqbal in Hindi language or in Urdu language. So Iqbal is also from my state, from Bihar. Originally he was from Bihar, but he moved to Pakistan because of the partition, and then America. So Iqbal, the poem of Iqbal, he always recite, and he says, सितारों से आगे जहां और भी है, आसमां और भी है, जहां और भी है, इश्क इम्तिहां और भी है. So the testing for the love, the striving for the love, strive is the continuous strive for the love, for the ishq. So ishq is emak, is effort, is always strive. So Umran is ishq, ashq, and love. Thank you very much.
Yes, Rajiv, it was a very, very inspiring presentation. Thank you for this beautiful speech. Now I want to ask the participants, is there any questions you want to ask Rajiv, or any ideas you want to share with him? Or if you want to make a contribution, Rajiv, or maybe you would like to ask the participants.
So, okay, now it's a floor open for everyone. You can talk, or maybe I can, you can ask about me, about Umran, and I would say that the project is going on. We have a language classes. It's all classes are free. Only we have registration charges, but it's very minimum charges that you will say that it's nothing. So learn about Umran. We have, I mean, I would like to share with you again. We have a proper system here to work. Even we have a school of language, and then we have a team of, like, for example, as you see here, team from India and from Pakistan. We have from Turkey. We have and from Africa. We have also from Africa. We have. So we have a team in the team from the various part of country. You can work with Umran, you can experience Umran, you can contribute to society from here to there and there to here. So I mean, we all, wherever we are connected with prayers, or with the knowledge, or every sort of idea. We are connected every time. So this and then we have a school of language. As you see here, you will find all sort of information on our website about school applications, and then syllabus, timetable. We operate this school of language semester wise, so it is not short course. It's a 3.5 months course, almost 4 months, 4 months, almost 3.5 months course. And we have a system here. I mean, we have quizzes, and then we have midterm exam, and then we have a final exam also. And students have an opportunity to learn so many things. From A1 to B2, we have classes. In every classes, we have head of department to control. I mean, even our school of language are like we have a director, and then we have we have committee board, school board also, and then we have a director, and then we have a head of department of every school. So you can learn so many things. We have every alternative Saturday, Friday or Saturday teachers meeting. There you can learn so many things in the management. You can teach. You can become a teacher as well, and you can be a student also. There are many teacher and then also a student at the same time. So you can teach them, or you can learn from some language, or communicate with share your ideas there. So it's a great opportunity to become productive, to become the adab that I was talking about, the civilization that I have been talking about, the effort that I have been talking about, this the Umran or Ishq that I have been talking about, this that we can develop and make a better society, a better world, a better future of humanity. So you have so many things here to do with us. That's what I wanted to say to you. Thank you.
Well, I think there's no ideas or questions, right?
Is there anyone would like?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Allow me to congratulate Brother Rajeev for your excellent presentation.
Thank you very much.
It's been great, opportunity for me to learn about your noble endeavor with your, all the community of actually Umran, because Umran is not only like, a personality, is community of,
Yes.
benevolence,
Yes.
and it's been very, impactful for me to see that your team also are very young.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's very what you call impactful to see that young people, they are like, putting efforts for their community, to improve and their community and to help their colleagues and so on. So I think this is a good start for Ibn Khaldun as a community of learning itself, to see and understand, that the benevolence, by the grace of Allah, of course, will never end,
Yes.
at
Yes.
any part of the world.
Yes.
So we should be very optimistic, hopeful on the on the name of benevolence, which is, as you said and rightly mentioned, that it is first of all an ishq.
Yes.
You see, if you don't have ishq, as Mawlana said, rightly put forward, rightly. I mean, we are composed of ishq.
Yes.
If you don't have ishq, we are not existing.
Yes. Yes.
You see, I think this is for our students and young people at Ibn Khaldun, University, and of course, and around, to engage, with these kind of, attempts and initiatives around the world. Okay, because we always discuss, and we are, in a position sometime that we feel ourselves very pessimistic, because of the happenings around the world, But I believe that these kind of, happenings and occasions and initiatives around the world, if we engage, rightly, and we promote the, mutual understanding with each other, regardless of the culture, religion, and so on, I believe the world will become, a better place for all of us.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
So I thank you very much for your efforts, and I thank to your colleagues and all volunteers. And it was very interesting to see volunteers from Turkey even.
Yes.
You see, it means that the initiative had been what you call intervened into Turkish community already.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm really thankful I mean, I'm thanks to my Lord, my God, and that it brought me. I mean, I came. I many times I say, coming to Istanbul. I never thought of like I will come into Istanbul, and but I came to Istanbul. It was my destiny. I have been brought to Istanbul. But I'm really thankful to, I mean, the entire team of Ibn Khaldun University. Professor Rajeev Kumar completely, he's a very inspiration for all of us as a leader. I know Ibn Khaldun from him actually, so that's why. And I mentioned about in my story about Professor Rajeev Kumar. The environment of Ibn Khaldun University is really great. It's going to be in the future, in 10 years, the way it is working. I mean, I really appreciate you also, like organizing all this kind of effort. I mean, we should really appreciate this, because you are really working very hard to disseminate this knowledge. From this is the platform there where we disseminate, diffuse the knowledge, we share the knowledge. So I really appreciate you and the effort that you all are giving. I'm learning so many things from this, from all of you. It is very important, and we should also give respect to this, because it requires a lot of resources. You are working day and night, and I mean, Sachin, I mean, she communicated with me many times, and we organize this, how we can do. So giving a lot of effort to to benefit, to lead the humanity. Whenever I think Ibn Khaldun University, whenever I, I see you or professors, I think of like, these are the leader of humanity. They are leading humanity. They are bringing humanity from, from Umran Bedawi to Umran Hadari. So, so always I think like this, I'm thankful to Ibn Khaldun, and I pray that the way it is going, it should maintain and it should go. So in future, it will lead the humanity, the entire world. Ibn Khaldun will be leading the education or ilm. I mean, I would say ilm, which encompasses everything. So thank you very much once again.
I have one more question on the chat.
Yeah. There's a question from Füsun.
Yeah.
Can you see?
You said you started with a dream. What is your biggest dream about Umran as a founder? Okay, thank you very much, Füsun. My biggest dream is for Umran is that to establish a school in my hometown. That is what we are working towards. We are working to establish, and we have already initiated residential school, and that is what we are our dream for this Umran. And my dream, if you ask me my personal dream dream is what I have been acquiring, every time I strive, I give my effort to reach the ihsan, the perfection, to become a better human person with love, other morality, ethics. That is my dream to become. Thank you for asking this question.
Thank you, Füsun. Well, anyone else willing to contribute? You can also write in the chat section.
So yes, we have a Mrs. Kavlani from India. they all are my family, Umran family. They are teaching online from Delhi to my hometown Bihar. Online, we have brought a projector, and she's both. I mean, even her daughter is teaching. One of his youngest daughter teaching Hindi and English. So, Mrs. Kavlani, you would like to say something? You have now connected to Istanbul.
Yeah, we are Umran. In that video, my daughter's video came at last and she said, I am Umran. So we are together, we are Umran, and we are happy to be part of this family. And it's always nice to see, just now sir told about a dream, and when there is a goodwill, there is always a way, and God helps those who help themselves. So I can see that motivation, that inspiration in Rajeev, and I learn a lot also from this platform. So I'm thoroughly enjoying to be part of this and looking forward to work more in this family, and whatever I can contribute, I'll surely do it till I can. So I'm happy to be the part of Umran family.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Kavlani. Mrs. Kavlani is a Hindi writer. She has written many poems, and we started. I mean, since the very beginning, Mrs. Kavlani and her entire family is with us, and every time they gives me a sense of family. I never feel like I miss my Bihar or my family. They give me every time this kind of support. We have created the community. Actually, we have really. So thank you very much, Mrs. Kavlani, and everyone, Kishan Sara, and the other students who are from Umran. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, I also would like to thank Rajeev again and all. It was a really inspiring, great program. Thanks to our listeners for their interest. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.